Once again, we back at you with another episode of Straight from the Chair. It's your boy, the barber with the bow tie, Marcus Murray Sr.
And I'm Brice Davis of Brice Davis Media.
And we back at you here at Icons Barber and Beauty Salon, 313 Beauty Supply, all under one roof, beautifying the world, one cut and one product at a time.
Yeah, man. Got some things to talk about as usual.
Yeah, man.
And I got to bring this one in because, you know, I'm a little more hip to the YN's activity.
Right.
I need to stop saying that. But let's talk about snitching, man. Lately in the news, we had Young Thug. Some footage done came out. You know, he went around calling Gunna a snitch because he identified YSL as a gang. You know, even though he had nothing to do with that RICO. So that's like me and you, we just riding. And you and your peoples did something. I get caught up with y'all.
Right.
And I get questions. And now I'm a snitch for calling y'all gang members when I was hanging out with gang members.
Right.
But anyway.
Right.
The video came out where Young Thug was interrogated.
I'm from New Orleans. I'm from Atlanta. Mm-hmm. This nigga was in Atlanta and I was in New Orleans. I said, what the fuck? That was so weird. This nigga fucking down shot at this nigga to us. Honestly, I don't know who the fuck did. They said Roscoe, but.
And he had mentioned that another member of YSL named Pee Wee Roscoe had shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus, volunteering information that everybody already knew, but he still said it. And he had said something, I'll tell you anything, but something. It's like, yo, you just did a tour talking shit about Gunna, and what you did was worse.
Right.
Because we already knew that YSL was a gang to an extent.
Right.
You just went out and identified this man and said he shot. You know what I mean? Like, and because YSL was beefing with Wayne back in the day, and some old footage done came out, and amongst other things, a phone call done leaked. And so, end of the day, though, the bottom line is the streets is a myth. All this shit's a myth. Like, all this ratting, telling, snitching. At the end of the day, you're better off just being a normal civilian because you can't believe nothing these rappers are saying. Like,
well, I like to believe the streets and rapper life is two different things. I think rappers personify the streets, and when they get in over their heads, that's when the rapper comes out. You know what I mean? The snitching. But then again, you know, mobsters snitch, man. Like,
yeah.
Snitching became a thing because of mobsters. They were the first ones to be so heavy in crime to where they had to tell on each other to get better deals. Like, it was known. It was a part of the mob culture to snitch on your boss. You know what I mean? Like, so I just don't believe nowadays we have a code anymore, for real.
Yeah. And
there was a time when there was a code when they say, quote unquote, honor amongst thieves. But
I was just about to say that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think there's a code anymore. When you don't respect your circle, then you will easily be treasonous. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to commit treason when you don't respect the people you with, when you don't honor your clique, when you aren't really about what you personify. Like, and time is real. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about doing more time. You know what I mean? Like, and for cats who haven't done time to be faced with that shit, I'm sure they will change the tune. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, the first law is what? Self-preservation.
Self-preservation.
You always got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, man. So I don't know what we expect of each other now. You know, snitching is not surprising because when pressure bust pipes, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pressure bust pipes. And them niggas is rappers first.
But we can't move the goalposts neither. Like, if I seen Fat Joe say it too, like, he didn't want to admit that he like Gunna's album because, you know, quote unquote snitch. But it's like, well, if he's a snitch, we gotta say Thug's a snitch. We can't be like selective on who's
a snitch, right?
Yeah, we can't be selective on that. So.
But I wouldn't even consider him a snitch if he wasn't a part of the crime.
Me neither. And that's another thing I was thinking about when you brought up the mafia thing was like, we're talking about situations that's nowhere near as severe as what they were snitching on.
Right.
Like, you're talking about real murders. Like,
bodies, right.
Yeah, bodies. Like, they snitching over stuff that's common knowledge.
Right.
At the end of the day, man, the streets is a myth. don't believe in all that. Like, I'm sure there's some thorough cats out there, but at the end of the day, most people are going to do what they got to do to get out of the situation, or they're going to sell it. And the ones that aren't, you're not going to know until a situation actually happens. So.
And I'm once again, I'm going to piggyback behind that and say, I don't know that the streets are a myth, because street shit happens every day. And if you hanging around the wrong type of people, you will get caught up. I know a lot of people who leave. We talked about going out of town and traveling and that kind of thing. Yeah. I know a lot of people who leave places like this and go to LA and want to embody what they've seen in the movies, and they hear on the rap, and that's a lifestyle you have to be born and raised in. You can't just pop up out of nowhere and want to be down, because that shit is gonna eat you up. A lot of these rappers, they get extorted. A lot of these singers who claim sets that they never
never bang.
You know what I mean? Like, you getting extorted. Like, you paying for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You paying for that. You paying to be able to say blood or crip or cuz. Like, you paying to mention that set. And it's crazy how people at a certain age still succumb to peer pressure. You know what I mean? Like, I think snitching is a little bit of all that. You succumb to peer pressure that you wasn't ready for, and life hits you so fast, you trying to survive. You trying to save yourself from the consequences of your actions. Ice-T even said it on the podcast. Like, snitching means committing the crime with someone and telling on the people who you committed the crime with. That's a snitch.
Exactly.
If I'm an old man and I'm in my house and I see niggas at the end of the corner selling dope and I don't want them in my neighborhood and I call the police, I'm neighborhood lookout. I'm neighborhood watch. I'm not a snitch. I'm someone who's protecting my neighborhood. So if you're fucking violating my I pay for this land, and you're violating, bringing my property level down, and I'm going to take the proper precautions to get rid of you so that my property level stays or grows. That's not snitching. That's called taking precaution.
Oh, man, I can see it now. No, that's right. Yeah, 2025 is different.
Yeah, man.
It's different.
That's because ain't nobody keeping it real with them. Snitching ain't telling on somebody. Snitching is being a part of the crime and telling on the people you committed the crime with. It's like, don't get it twisted, man. You got to be honorable. And they say game recognize game. What's understood need not be explained, that kind of shit. Like, loyalty really doesn't even have to be asked for. You know what I mean? Like, certain people, they are in it to win it. Their family, they're here. But let's not get it twisted. Don't put yourself in a position to have to tell on nobody.
Right,
you know what I mean? If I'm doing a crime, I'm doing that shit by myself. I'm not going to
put me in a position to have to tell on somebody if I'm minding my business and you happen to do something stupid around me and expect me to hold it down. Like, oh, I gave you a ride, I get pulled over and there's 100 pills in my backseat. Like, yeah, don't do that.
Right. Now, that's whole shit. That's whole shit.
Let's stick to loyalty, man. The topic of conversation I saw online was, would you date your friend's ex or his fling, like somebody that he had an encounter with, like a friend of yours? Would you date your friend's ex?
I mean, there's so many fish in the sea. Why would you have to do that? But honestly, I would say yeah. I mean, yeah, I would. I haven't. I'm trying to think.
But as far as like dating, like taking on a serious level, I think it's a nuanced question because there's like layers of friendship. Like, what kind of friendship are we talking about? Like a brother.
I mean, honestly, I have a frat brother, man. I would have dated his ex-wife for real. Wow. Like, it just never got to that. But yeah, she's a quality woman, bro. Like, it's your bad you lost her. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you had an ex and she was decent and it didn't work out for you, but I felt like it would work for me, I might go and approach you.
I say as long as it ain't a friend that I talk to on the regular, like somebody within my inner circle.
I talk to you on the regular.
Right. It wouldn't be nothing like that, but like,
I don't know, man. But I think with see, emotional IQ comes in so many different levels. The more we try to develop it for ourselves, and that's a level of emotional IQ that many people, I would assume, have experienced. Like, that's better than fucking with them while she's with your homie. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's disrespect. That's a violation. That's a violation.
I mean, it didn't work out, and you guys have been apart for however long.
Yeah.
You know, I'm cool. I can't be mad if you see something better in my ex than I did. You know what I mean?
Because there's definitely a difference between disrespecting someone and violating someone. And,
right.
You know, to me, that's a borderline violating.
And then I also think that's a code that we would have to establish between ourselves. Excuse me. I don't know that this is a general code. Like, I know women say don't fuck with your friend's ex, but I know a lot of them do it more.
Oh yeah, I think they do it more than
right.
for sure. If anything, when you get with someone, a girl and her homegirls, you know, they're gonna be all a little extra nice, and you're gonna start noticing like, oh, she had me on Snapchat, and you get their friends requests, which some of that's cool if they're, you know, if there's a general, you know, but if they start messaging you, then you already know, and that tends to happen more with women for some odd reason.
Right.
It's like, oh, she happy, I want to be happy too.
Man,
I don't think we really move like that. But yeah, bottom line to me is just like, it depends on our closeness. Like, if you're somebody I talk to once a month, then, you know, you might be in trouble. But if it's somebody I talk to on a regular or whatever the case is, like, I ain't going behind you. But yeah, you gotta use a lot of common sense and, like you said, emotional intelligence on that one.
Right.
Like, to know when it's acceptable and when it's not.
Right.
And another thing I want to say about that too, though, is sometimes, you know, you've heard of guys asking someone else, you know, if they bless the situation, like, hey, you okay? 9 times out of 10, even when dudes aren't okay with it, they're still going to say they are.
Right.
And so you got to be smart enough to know if that's something you want to venture into.
My thing is, it's only worth telling the homie if I'm really going to settle down with her.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't going to, I don't need to tell you if I'm just fucking, like, because it's just a fling, man. I don't know, to each his own. Like, as far as dating, what about leaving?
When it's time to leave?
When is it time to leave? Like,
disrespect. Like, you gotta know what I mean by that is, like, you setting boundaries and she just ignore every last one of them. And it goes both ways. Like, if it's something that you're very firm about and she just jumps over it and doesn't even feel the need to talk about it, or you want to talk about it and she don't want to.
Right.
Yeah, like, it's hard. It's hard. You can't really build from that if you got to be on someone else's time and they won't even agree to a time to talk about it. Because sometimes, you know, it might be heat of the moment. Like, all right, let's talk about this later. So when you trying to talk about this, and if you can't have that, then yeah, like, you got to know that disrespect is already at an all-time high, and it don't get better. That's why I said before in the past, like, if you get cheated on, it's not worth trying to go back and fix what caused the cheating, you know, with your girl, because she already don't respect you, and it's not worth getting the respect back. If you can. I don't think you can, but what you thinking?
So, I don't know, man. I think people should leave a lot sooner than they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you should leave as soon as you feel like, man, as soon as you doubt yourself. For women, you should leave as soon as the relationship causes you doubt in your emotions. For men, I think you should leave at the first sign of disrespect, depending on the level of disrespect, and depending on your intentions in the relationship, man. Like, if you really want to be with somebody, then of course there are growing pains and shit you got to go through to get to a certain level of transparency and cohesiveness. But I don't think it's that hard to do. Like, once you get into a situation, you establish with, you know, your couple goals. You bring into the situation what you plan, how you plan to live your life. So everybody should be able. You should attract what you are. You know what I mean? Like, somebody who's goal oriented, somebody who is a lover of people, who likes to talk, that kind of thing. I think. and then the matchup is easy, but anytime there's so much conflict to where you're always bumping heads and there's always confusion, leave.
Yeah, communication can't be compromised.
Can't be.
It can't be. Like, y'all got to be able to talk about things. And if you feel like you can't talk about it, then yeah, like you said, it's usually time to go way before it's time to go. It's just we get attached to people, and you know those good memories outweigh the common sense, and next thing you know, you in it way longer than you're supposed to be.
And I believe people are complacent.
Yeah.
You know, I think people don't mind being mediocre for real. Like, because honestly, you would be considered somewhat conceited if you walked around or you dated how you really felt. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would be considered conceited because that means you have standards and qualities that only a certain percentage of people qualify for, you know?
I think we compromise a lot of our standards when we meet someone,
we
especially when we get attached to them. Then we start overlooking things that we told ourselves, like, yo, that ain't it.
Right.
And that'll put you in a bad spot, too.
So it's one of those things, man, where leave. As soon as there's as soon as you've tried something and it didn't work. And that don't mean you can't come back, but knowing when it's time to leave is important so you don't drain your emotional energy. You don't spend too much time in an area where people don't appreciate you. You know what I mean? And anytime you're in a situation where you can't control the peace around you, it's not peaceful inside. Like whatever's going around you disrupts your insides. Get out of that shit. Like,
oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know
like
I mean?
You're just carrying the negativity. It's just spreading to you. Now you're carrying it, then
Right.
you spread it to other people. And another thing too, I was thinking about with boundaries is you gotta be ready to leave when the boundaries get crossed, like immediately. Not hit them with an ultimatum and vice versa. Like you gotta really be ready to walk away, not with the intent of, oh, this person's gonna come back, then we're gonna talk about it. Like,
Right.
nah, like that shows more that you can just walk away when a violation happened. Like something that you're firm about. Like, you know.
Right.
Sometimes dudes be trying to be fragile with their boundaries to where it's like, okay, you're crossing them a little bit, but I can still work around you. And it's like, no, you said that you're not comfortable with her going out with her friends at 2 a.m. She did it without telling you. It's time to walk away. Like, don't even argue with her. I mean, you can tell her why you're leaving if you want to, but at this point, it's over with.
Right. That kind of shit right there is disrespectful. So I know this might not be politically correct, but you know, as men, we always have. I mean, I think everybody has their what ifs conversations. You know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't know where this one came from, but gay son or thought daughter?
Yeah. So they asked the basketball player Michael Porter Jr. You know, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? Like your daughter just got 5 baby dads. She done got videos on her. She half naked in every picture. She, somehow, some way, you just know her body count's like up in the 90s.
That's big.
Yeah, man. Or, you know, just a gay son. And that's not against gay people. It's just, for me.
As a straight man.
Yeah. I'd rather it, even though it would, what's the word?
For me, while you're thinking about it, for me, it's as simple as a legacy, man. Every man, a man's family supposed to be the extension of his legacy. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck who you sleep with, but if I had a choice on what I would want my sons to be, it would be heterosexual so they can continue the legacy. You know what I mean? So that's about it for me. I don't.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to think of the word like before legacy. Like having a thought daughter, my legacy will still continue, but I'm also prideful on my last name and the reputation of my last name. And I believe that every day you build towards you know, they say it takes a lifetime to build a reputation, seconds to destroy one.
Right.
So, you know, a thought daughter, I mean, my legacy continues. It ain't going to be the way I'd care for it to be raised, but hey, it's still going. It'll be remembered in time versus, you know, the other way around. And it kind of reminds me of the Joe Biden thing. Didn't his son, Hunter Biden, get a stripper pregnant?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
So imagine your lineage is president of the country, then hers is shaking ass in a club, and you just put it together.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Just upgraded her whole family.
Yeah. Essentially. And let alone don't let the kid have the mom's last name, which it probably will, but
she'd be stupid.
Yeah, topic for a whole nother day.